merging cells and aligning from text. So in this module, we're just going to cover some fairly simple concepts around merging cells and aligning text within a cell. We're going to start off by merging, and to give you an idea of what merging is, what I have here on the screen is a very simple table with 3 months and a little bit of data about it. And you can see at the top I've got a title for the table called Simple Table, and you'll notice that that text is sitting in a particular cell. Now, by a quirk of formatting, that has, there we go, that's better. So that if by default you did your table, that's how it would appear. And what if you wanted to make it look over a bit more tidy across your entire width of your table rows, columns? The simple way, as you've probably just seen, would be to center this text. If I do that, oh no, there we go. Well, I don't know how that happened before, but we'll blow past that anyway. So, for centering the text across these two columns, the simplest way is to select the columns that the text is in and click up here, Merge and Center, which you'll find in the Home and in the Alignment tab, and then click Merge and Center. And that will center your text over those two columns. And that's fine, but then what happens if you have some more data to put in? It's no longer centered across those. So quite simply, you can stretch your selection across those columns, click Merge and Center again, and once more, and it will do that for you. And that's merging, really. If you want to undo merging, you can select that and then click here and go Unmerge Cells. And there are other options in here which will not center the text but keep the cells merged. So if I select these three again, I click the little drop down, Merge Across. That's giving it center because it's got a center command in there. If I do Merge Cells, probably best if I do a new example actually, because that's got previous formatting in it. So let me unmerge all those cells, and if I type table title or something in there, there we go. So I can choose the columns again, click here and choose Merge Across. That does a similar thing. Oops. Control Z. That does a similar thing to Merge and Center, but Merge Cells, that's keeping the centering in there. Let me create a whole new table title. There we go. What it's doing there, it's picking up the previous formatting with the centering in there. So rather than trying to fix that and make it look a bit skewed, I'm going to just delete it. Table title, stretch that across, merge cells. And you can see now this is one cell and it stretches over these columns on the same row. The thing to notice about merging is you can't merge two cells with content in them and expect to see all that content. So if I put in here text 1 and in here text 2, for example, I can merge those. If I click here and go merge cells, but it gives me an error. Well, sort of an error, it's a warning. Merging cells only keeps the upper left cell value and discards the other values. What that's saying is Excel can't merge those two pieces of text together because it doesn't know what to do with them. And what it will do, it will just keep the first bit of text. So if you click OK to that, you see they are now merged, but you've only got the first text. And that's merging. You can undo your merging by clicking the merge cells, clicking here and going unmerge cells. Notice when you do that with the bit that I just merged, it doesn't bring back the text that you had before. So there's a little gotcha there. And you can do it with numbers. The same thing will happen if I merge those. Merge across, for example, gives me the same warning. And it will do that a couple of times. And what I've done there, I've merged over, it's created two merge cells there. And you can do it vertically as well. So if I go, well, I don't need to put any content in, but I'll go cell content there. There we go. Select those, merge cells, see it's merged them. Now what that brings us onto here is the concept of alignment. You see what it's done there is that it has merged that content into the cell but placed it at the bottom. And this is a good opportunity to see where you can do things with alignment to make these things a bit tidier. Because obviously if you've got a double height row effectively here like that, you probably don't want your content to be sat at the bottom because that's going to look a bit awkward. So the simplest fix for that is if you look up here in your toolboxes, you'll see you've got these vertical alignments. You've got top, middle and bottom. If you click middle align, That'll bring that there for you. There are more options to this though, however. If you click your cell, and you can do the next bit with merge cells or with individual cells content, go to Format Cells, and go to Alignment if you're not there already. And you can see here, so we've got horizontal and vertical. If I choose top, it does that. Bring that back. Center. You get the general idea there, and you've got some other options in there about what to do. Justify, well, that's not really going to work vertically in our context. It's going to put it at the top, but there you go. Other things you can do in here which are quite useful, particularly if you had a lot of text. For instance, if I take those two out, let's just fix this in here. I'm just going to put those cells back to something sensible. Let's say all this data here was actually for a single month of whatever. Actually, what we'll do, we'll take another row. Let's assume it's a season. I'll take that row of data, paste it at the bottom. The data itself doesn't matter, it's just for example purposes. What I'll do there is I'll go May, June, July, August, something akin to some summer months. And what I can do then is if I type in here summer, I can then merge those there. But rather than just putting one option here would be, if I'm looking at this kind of table, I could put that in the middle there, and that's relatively easy to read. And if I put that in some borders, yeah, that's not too shabby. But you might have a restriction on your column width. So what you can do there, if you can right click your cell, and you can orientate the text to a different angle. So I'm going to make it vertical, make it 90 degrees, click OK. And now if I had a slightly constrained table for a report or whatever, I can make that read as follows. In fact, it's not letting me because of, there we go, that's better. There we go. And you can see how you could play with the formatting on this. You could play with the formatting on that with colours and etc. to make it easier to read. But you can see here how alignment of the text can be used to make your tables more easy to read. Anyway, so that's a brief introduction to merging. That's all there is to know about merging, really. Merging concepts of cells, and a little bit on alignment, and we'll see you in the next module.